Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Daily Dose, day number 17 with Ayman and Hazim. Being day 17, we are on the 17th juz'u in chapter 21, Surah Al-Anbiya. In the first verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states,
اقترب للناس حسابهم وهم في غفلة معرضون.
The time of their account has approached for the people while they are in heedless turning away. So if you look at the first part, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that the time of account has approached for the people. The Prophet ﷺ said that between him and Yawm al-Qiyamah is like this. So meaning they are very close, that there is no space between his fingers, that the Yawm al-Qiyamah, before we know it, that the Prophet ﷺ was the seal of the prophets, and that Yawm al-Qiyamah will be next. And so what we'd like to talk about today is some of the small signs that has been narrated through us through the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ.
The first one we want to talk about is found in Bukhari, Muslim, Ibn Majah, and Ahmad, where the Prophet Muhammad tells us that one of the early signs of Yawm al-Qiyamah is there's going to be a lot of killing. So there's going to be killing, and he repeats it 3 times, and we all know that it will come to the point where the person who's killing won't know why he is killed, and the person who was killed won't know why they were killed, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be a catastrophe where killing is going to be widespread.
And another one, the Prophet ﷺ said that great distances will be traveled in a short span of time. And subhanAllah, look back at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, where they rode horses, and they had caravans, and then we had cars, and then we had ships, and then we have trains, and now we have planes, and now we have spaceships. And subhanAllah, the more technology has advanced, the faster, subhanAllah, we've been able to travel, to the point now where we can travel to the moon and to the outer spaces of the universe, subhanAllah.
Then in Al-Haythami, he reports that leaders of the people will be so corrupt and will be oppressing their own people. And we can see this evidently from the leaders of the Middle East, what's going on today. Leaders who've been ruling their nations for 30, 40 years, oppressing their people with fear. And subhanAllah, this is just a testimony that the Day of Judgment is near.
And then in Bukhari, it stated that a man will pass by a grave and wish that he was in their place. And subhanAllah, subhanAllah, if you look today at the suicide rates, according to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, every 15 minutes someone dies by suicide. And it is estimated that close to 1 million people make a suicide attempt each year.
And then there's the hadith narrated by Bukhari, Muslim, and Ahmad, wherein the Prophet Muhammad says that time will pass by very, very rapidly, as we get closer to the Day of Judgment. And we can see this evidently today from the progression of the time and the actual units that we use. We started out by using years. From the Prophet's time, they called it Am al-Fil. The year he was born is the year of the elephant, because that's the greatest thing, or the biggest thing that happened on that year. The elephants came and attacked Kaaba. So they gave names and units, whatever, to years. And then they divided it up into seasons, separating each season, the harvest season, so on and so forth, the growing season, and this was important for their lives back then. Then it got a little bit more intricate, and we started mentioning months, and then weeks, and now we have exactly a set number of days in each week, and because each day we do something different, and there's certain stuff in certain days, and we needed that, so it became a little bit more intricate, and then it became even more intricate, and we moved on to hours. And in the beginning, we didn't even use minutes. We just said it's close to 7, or it's past 5, or something like that. Now we actually have minutes, so now it's 7:15 or 7:29, or so on and so forth. And then we have seconds for fast-paced things. With our technology that's going today, we even have nanoseconds, things that can quantify the matters of physics.
And in Bukhari, the Prophet ﷺ said that the Bedouins will compete in the construction of tall buildings. And subhanAllah, look at the Middle East today. Dubai, they just finished Burj Al Khalifa, which was now the tallest building in the world. And now Saudi Arabia has plans to build one that is even a kilometer high. I'm sure after that, they'll build even a taller one. Just take a look at the picture. So as you can see, that many of the signs that the Prophet ﷺ has told us have already come to pass. Some haven't, some are happening right now. And there are many others that you can look up to see that there are so many signs that the Prophet ﷺ told us about 1400 years ago that have taken place. And that's where the last part of the ayah, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, while they are in heedless turning away. That many people today will deny that there is a judgment day. or they believe in it but they don't think it's going to be that bad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran that on that day that the mother will not even care about her child, that everybody will be for themselves, wanting to have the judgment in the right side, either on the good side or the bad side. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us these signs to tell us that it will occur, and what have we done for it. So take this time, the month of Ramadan, to focus on yourself, focus on your iman, focus on your ibadah, focus on your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and remember that there will be a judgment, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will judge you for the deeds you have done. So do your best to stay on the good side, inshallah. So to help you get through Ramadan each and every day, check out the Mass Arizona page to get your
Daily Dose.